Fentanyl has changed the landscape in downtown Seattle, and the drug's grip is deeply entrenched on certain streets.
Targeting those problem spots is part of a new strategy presented to city leaders today, which focuses on where crime and overdoses converge. KOMO's Joel Marino spoke to city leaders about what could change with this new approach.
Opioid addiction is a problem throughout Seattle, but certain streets in and around downtown suffer more than most from the drugs and crime that follows. The City Council is now considering a different approach presented by the Auditor's office to address the crisis and restore safety to the streets.
And my shared values are not to allow the same 4 drug dealers to work the same 4 corners for the past 4 straight years.
To disrupt the concentration of crime and drug overdoses on these streets, the report urges a place-based, problem-solving approach using strategies that are proven to work.
And we've heard a lot of promises that there were special operations and other kind of action that would take place, and we haven't seen any change.
Council President Sara Nelson supports the plan, and KOMO News asked what would change.
Should we expect more arrests if this is implemented?
Yes, and we also need to, at the same time, prevail upon the county to lift those booking restrictions.
People arrested for low-level drug offenses are typically released by the county jail, but Nelson says the auditor's report shows there are reasons why drug overdoses and crime converge.
However, with some of these arrests, they are finding weapons. They are finding outstanding warrants. And these are people that do possibly need to be arrested.
But the plan also emphasizes expanded recovery support services to help people in treatment stay the course and even get job placement and other assistance.
My main takeaway from all this is that the city has an opportunity to better collaborate.
Joel Marino, KOMO News.
The report recommends that the mayor's office appoint a specific person to lead this effort and coordinate the various partners to get addicts into treatment and to restore public safety.
Seattle leaders have a new plan to address the ongoing fentanyl epidemic. The goal is to clean up hotspots where crime and drug overdoses overlap. I talked with Joel Marino tonight about the changes people will see if this plan is approved. Well, Joel, thanks so much for being with us here on ARC Seattle tonight. So these recommendations are really to deal with places in Seattle where both crime and drug overdoses overlaps. Where are these spots?
They're kind of focused really in the downtown area and then nearby. It's places that we do news reports on all the time. We're talking about a pretty good stretch of 3rd Avenue through downtown, as well as the Pike Broadway area on Capitol Hill. The researchers also identified 12th and Jackson in the Chinatown International District, and then up on First Hill, the Harborview area. It's 10 sections of streets that are just inundated by both drug overdoses, opioid overdoses, as well as the crime that follows.
But Joel, they keep coming up with task forces and they keep coming up with plans. What's so different about this strategy?
You know, during the public testimony, people brought up those same points that, you know, you keep saying we're going to do emphasis patrols, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to put the mobile precinct there. And, it, you know, if it gets better for a little while, it seems to get worse, you know, as time goes on. And there's a lot of people who aren't really sure that the city's got the solution this time. But this plan, it says it's different because it talks a lot about coordinating a lot of the efforts that are already in place, but kind of having one central figure to oversee these things and to be accountable for how well they're working. It also talks about potentially increasing the number of arrests. And today I talked to Council President Sara Nelson, and I said, well, you know, trying to arrest people, there's nowhere to take them because the county jail right now has a policy that it won't book most nonviolent offenses in the jail. Councilmember Nelson says that they are working on an interlocal agreement to change that opportunity to arrest people when they are committing crimes beyond just drug possession. And they say these things go hand in hand.
So, Joel, I'm just curious, if this is implemented, any idea what this would cost and who would oversee it?
So this report is from the city auditor's office, so there's not any kind of detailed fiscal analysis to go with this. But time and time again throughout the presentation, they emphasize that a lot of these things, the tools are already in place. It's just using them differently. It's coordinating better to put them to work. And it's doing follow-up work to see how effective they are at with their efforts. So there will be some investments that will be needed. Obviously, they're working to recruit more police, but they're talking about using the police in a different way, the officers that they do have. There will have to be investments on creating more drug treatment centers. But Councilmember Nelson, who I interviewed one-on-one today, said that she put in the budget $300,000 to make available to nonprofit groups that do referrals to drug treatment services, so that if they've got me, is there to help them do that.
All right, Joel, well, thanks for the update, and keep us posted of any new developments. And as always, we really appreciate you being with us here on ARC Seattle tonight. Thanks so much.